How about the Houston Roughnecks? They're 2-0. They beat St. Louis 28-24 on Sunday night. And their head coach, June Jones, is phenomenal. I think personally it's very, very close, but I think personally Pep Hamilton, the coach in D.C., is the best coach in the XFL. But June Jones is right there, right behind him at number 2. He's a great play designer, and I love how much he's willing to adapt. His adaptability is on full display in Houston with the way they use a guy named Nick Hawley. Nick Hawley bounced all over the place in college, and they line him up all over the field. They line him up at receiver. Nick Hawley lines up out wide at receiver. He lines up in the slot. He lines up in the backfield at running back. It's pretty interesting to me the way that Houston has adapted their offense to fit the needs of Nick Hawley and said, hey, how can we use Nick Hawley to the best of his abilities? I really like that. It's a credit to the coaching staff and their vision and their understanding of how to win on offense. Now, I also got to say, it's pretty clear if you're going to talk about the Houston Roughnecks, you have to talk about their quarterback, P.J. Walker. I feel like I've talked about him endlessly. I have a lot because P.J. Walker is the star of the league. He's literally not only the best quarterback in the league, probably the face of the league, period, but he deserves to be talked about. First of all, we do have to say, though, the guy isn't perfect. I've talked a lot of praise. I've said a lot of really good stuff about P.J. Walker. We'll get into that in a minute. But I do want to acknowledge, P.J. Walker has room to grow as a quarterback. His timing could be a little bit faster, and he's had a couple throws that should have been intercepted. We always forget the interceptions that are dropped. P.J. Walker's stats are incredible. He's getting a ton of praise. If those would have been interceptions were caught rather than dropped, he would have had a pick six. He would have had 2 interceptions last week, 2 week 1. He could have 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions right now. Nobody remembers that. It's important to remember, hey, he's not perfect. He's had some moments that he got away with things and that weren't punished. He should have had a couple interceptions so far this year. However, I got to say, P.J. Walker is absolutely shredding the league. He has a great arm. He's very accurate. But what makes P.J. Walker a special quarterback is his mobility. It was so fun watching P.J. Walker against St. Louis because St. Louis's quarterback, Jordan Ta'amu, is also a good athlete. Jordan Ta'amu is a good athlete, but he doesn't make the plays that P.J. Walker can make, even though they're both good athletes and they're both fast. Watching P.J. Walker and Jordan Ta'amu play against each other helps you appreciate just how gifted and how good P.J. Walker is. P.J. Walker isn't just fast. He's elusive. It's like he has eyes in the back of his head. He's slippery. He's hard to tackle. He's hard to sack. Defenders come free off the edge and still don't take him to the ground. It's really, really impressive. P.J. Walker has tremendous feel for the game. The way he escapes pressure is so much fun to watch. I love it. He knows exactly where to step, when to step up, when to step back, how to avoid a sack. He keeps his eyes downfield. He extends plays. He throws the ball downfield. And it's a thing you can't really coach. You just kind of have to have it or you don't. It's like a feel where he's so good at understanding where defenders are around him and navigating within and without of the pocket. Now, again, he's not a running quarterback. He doesn't run for yards. He runs to keep plays alive and eventually throw the ball downfield. He doesn't ever run for very many yards. He runs to throw. And it is so much fun to watch. I love it. I love it. And it's cool because sometimes he just slides up and steps up in the pocket. He doesn't run at the first glance of pressure or glance of problems. He doesn't just run immediately. He runs when he needs to, but he's not just a running quarterback. He's actually an all-around phenomenal, fantastic quarterback. That is why P.J. Walker is the talk of the town, and he very much deserves all the respect and love he's been getting in the first 2 weeks of the XFL season.